Hi and welcome to In Brandon. With me today is Farron LeBlanc. Farron is from the Brandon Humane Society. She's a board member, but she's also a co-founder of the Positive Communities Mobile. So welcome, Farron.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So let's start off. We'll talk about a big event that's coming up for the Brandon Humane Society itself, and it's the annual Pet Photos with Santa.
Yeah, so on November 25th, we're having our annual Pet Photos with Santa at Pet Value on 18th Street in the Keystone Village from 9 until 4 p.m. There's no appointment necessary. You can just pop in anytime with your pet, get a couple pictures with Santa. It's $20 and the Brandon Humane Society gets to keep all of the proceeds. So we're really thankful to Pet Value for doing this again. And you can grab your pictures afterwards. We will post on our website and also on our social media when the pictures are available for pickup, and you get a CD with all of your pictures, and then you get a 5x7 of your best one.
Great, great. How many pictures can people take? You said all of the pictures that they take.
I think the photographer kind of just eyeballs how many good ones you're kind of getting and kind of cuts you off when they think that you've got good ones, because of course people with their pets, they probably want to take pictures of Santa all day. So they kind of use their judgment on when you've got some good ones, and then you get a CD with all of the funny bloopers and all of the good ones, and then you get an actual physical photo of you and your pet and Santa.
Great, that sounds neat. Now, we talked a little bit earlier, appointments for this?
Yeah, not necessary.
Right.
You just pop in, and for sure keep your pets in a kennel or on a leash, because there may be other people waiting. We don't want any fights or anything like that. So yeah, just pop into Pet Value anytime between 9 and 4 and you can get your pictures done.
And this is a very well-attended event for you too, right?
Yeah, it's a great fundraiser for us. We do it every year with Pet Value, and it's always super popular, and we love to see your pictures afterwards because we don't always necessarily keep all of them. So once you get your pictures back, if you're happy with them, if you post them online, make sure you tag our Instagram or Facebook so we can see them, and sometimes we repost.
Great. Another thing that we wanted to talk about is if people can't make it down to have pictures and kind of support the Humane Society in that way, other ways that people can help out.
Right. There's so many ways you can help out. It depends under what regard you want to help. If you can help financially, that's major for us. I think a lot of people don't realize that we're not funded by the government or by the city or anything like that. So we're kind of on our own. We have to fundraise. We have to rely on donations, and we have major vet bills. Our adoption fees don't always cover the cost of caring for an animal. We have to buy all of our pet food. So definitely, if you can contribute financially in any way, any amount is not too small. If you can give $1, if you can give $100, we will take all of it. We greatly appreciate it, and it all goes to the animals. Another way you can help is by volunteering your time. We're always looking for new volunteers. We are flexible for hours. We really like if people can pick a specific shift. So say you come Wednesday nights, Saturday mornings, whatever your availability, you can come every week and help out with the animals. And then we encourage people to take their own initiatives and do things outside of our shelter. If there's other rescues that you want to get involved in, we invite you to do that. My brother recently took on his own initiative, and he started building dog houses. And he took them up to a northern community for people whose pets didn't have any shelter in the winter. So things like that is really neat to see people in the community out doing things outside of our shelter and kind of going outside of the box and doing something that is a passion for them. And it's really neat for us to see things like that.
Great. And even though that may not directly financially benefit the Humane Society, but in other ways of having, say, the dog house example of keeping the dogs warmer and safer, and keeps the dogs healthier, so they're not, in need of any services or whatever that the Humane Society can offer. Or on the other hand, what we're going to talk about now, the Positive Communities Mobile, where you guys go out. So let's talk a little bit about that. What exactly is the Positives Community Mobile?
Okay, so the Positive Communities mobile program is our spay and neuter program aimed at helping dogs and cats, but we're focusing on dogs right now mainly, in First Nations communities across the province. So another thing that people may not realize is almost all of the dogs usually that are in our shelter have come from First Nations communities. People have surrendered them. There's people that have, called us and asked us to help. There's dogs that have been flown in from up north. Some are as close as Sioux Valley. It's just a huge, huge problem right now with overpopulation. And it's not to say that people in the First Nations communities don't care about their animals, but it's they don't have the same access to vet clinics like we do. I've never seen a First Nations community, that has a vet clinic there. So that means that they have to transport their animals. There's extra costs there. A lot of them can't afford to vet their animals. So what we're aiming to do with this program, and the reason that it's a mobile unit, is we can bring it right into the First Nations community. We can do the spaying and neutering on site, and they get to take their animals home with them that same day. And it's of no or little cost to them. And this really impacts our shelter. It may seem like, well, how does that help the Brandon Humane Society if they're these First Nations communities? And it eases the load of animals that we have to take into our shelter, because every time we're contacted, our heart breaks and we just want to take every single animal that doesn't have a home. But if we can spay and neuter and start controlling the issue at the root of the issue, then it just really helps us, it helps First Nations communities, and it's just a positive thing for everybody.
So how is it funded? It's not funded through the Humane Society itself, right?
No, not to say that the Humane Society doesn't financially help us. They've paid for the insurance on the trailer and done lots of things like that. But the Humane Society itself, as I mentioned before, has major, major costs on its own. So to be able to have this program, we have to do separate fundraising. So I do most of the fundraising for the Positive Communities program. I sell the Adopt and Adopt Don't Shop clothing periodically throughout the year. Sometimes we do fundraising socials and different things like that. I believe we're going to team up with the Double Decker in January or sometime in the new year and do some kind of social with them. So if you want to donate to the shelter, that's amazing. And if you want to donate to Positive Communities, it's muchly needed too. But just make sure you specify where you want your donation to go to. Positive Communities has a GoFundMe page, so if you want to just quickly send us something online, that would be amazing too.
Great. And when we talk about this mobile vet clinic, that's exactly what it is a mobile vet clinic, right?
Yes, exactly. We have to get licensing, excuse me, through the Manitoba Veterinary Association. So we are actually recognized as a vet clinic itself. So it's really neat. We have all of the same capacity to order all the medication, to do all the surgeries. We have a vet out of Verdun named Dr. Carla Lowen, who's really amazing. She's been volunteering all her time to help us out with this, and yeah, so we can take it absolutely anywhere we want, and we are licensed to do all the vet care we need.
Awesome. So let's go back now. Let's just recap and talk about the event that's coming up, your pet photos with Santa. So
right. So
just recap again on when, where, and how much and all that.
Okay, perfect. So a week from this Saturday, so November 25th, it's at Pet Value in the Keystone Village. 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. No appointment needed. Pop in with your pets and get your pictures with Santa. It's $20. All of the proceeds come to our shelter. And we will post when the pictures are available on our social media and our website so people know when they can go back down to Pet Value and pick up their CD with their pictures.
And share those pictures with you.
Yes, please do.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming in, Farron.
Thanks for having me.
And hopefully we'll see a little bit of a spike in some funding for both the Humane Society, the Positive Communities, and a nice big group of people coming out to have their pets' pictures taken with Santa. Thank you.
Thanks.